Okay. Now, Dave, I'm going to segue into more of a personal topic. You chose to live in the city of Muskegon since 1985, and I know you built a house in a new emerging neighborhood right near the yacht club.
Where we're down above the filtration plant in the city of Muskegon.
Okay.
It's a dune area that we've been able to build in. I've been very fortunate. I did a series of stories back in 2003, 2004, whatever year we moved in, that described Peg and my experience in finding the lot, designing the house, finding a contractor, which was John Darien Homes, which built the whole Harbortown development. So there's a very similar style of what he's built in Harbortown and what he's built for Peg and I in the dunes. And then also in getting that whole project built. So we had 4 in a row of our homes page back then that they allowed me to pontificate upon my personal experience. And I would have to say, of anything I've written in the Chronicle, I still, to this day, get people asking about my house because it was such a personal story. And as business editor, I let it all hang out in terms of all the numbers and all the finances and everything that we had to go through, hopefully to allow other people to experience that through us, to get some ideas for their own home projects, and hopefully inspire them to go out and try a dream home of their own.
So the long and the short of it is you've been a very happy resident of the city of
Very
Muskegon
happy.
for quite some time.
And I guess when we look to find a house, and we used to live down in the Northern Nelson area in the Jefferson Street Historic District. We were there for 17 years. And a classic old 2-story brick house that we thoroughly enjoyed and loved. It was time for us to find a new adventure home-wise, we wanted to stay in the city of Muskegon. It was one of my goals, is to find something that would excite us, that would challenge us, and that we would have some lasting joy through. But I wanted to be in the city of Muskegon because the core city of any community is where it's at. And for Muskegon, it's the city.
Okay. You kind of led right into my next line of questioning. It is, how do you feel about downtowns and their role in Muskegon County specifically?
It's critical. It's sort of like the donut, the whole. And you see in the areas like Detroit and other devastated urban landscapes that when the whole of the donut is missing, that is really a difficult situation, not only for the urban city, but for the suburbs that surround it. And when you are going, say, in Munich, Germany, or if you were in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and you hear Detroit, you think nothing of Sterling Heights, and you think nothing of Novi, you think nothing of the downriver communities, you think of Detroit as a whole. And so the same thing is when you think of Muskegon, you are thinking of the whole community. So whether you live in Norton Shores, whether you even live in Whitehall or Montague, you are part of Muskegon. Muskegon is not just a 40,000 population city. It is the heart and soul of a community that we call Muskegon or Muskegon County. That includes institutions like the Muskegon Community College, the Muskegon Chronicle. We all have that same name, and we all share that same heritage and history. And how goes the city of Muskegon, and especially its downtown and its central core, its key institutions, so goes this community, and you cannot get yourself outside of it and say it's their problems by moving somewhere else.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Dave. Been talking with Dave Alexander, the business and governmental editor for the Muskegon Chronicle, that experienced a tremendous amount of change, and we're going to hear a little bit more about that and find out how Dave feels about covering the city and what some of the issues are when we come back in just a moment.
The Glenside and Northside pubs, from sandwiches, burgers, and Mexican food to starters, salads, soups, and desserts, not to mention their specialty pizzas like Hawaiian, vegetarian, chicken Alfredo, and of course their grand finale. It's the Glenside and Northside pubs.
Living healthy is more than just counting carbs and exercising. It's a lifestyle choice. Embrace sound, natural alternatives. Cultivate, sustain a better way to healthy living. The Health Hut offers a wide selection of herbs, supplements, health and beauty products, as well as bulk foods and natural and organic groceries. The Health Hut, growing strong since 1975.
Hi, I'm Bill Oxterman, back on camera with Dave Alexander from the Muskegon Chronicle. And we're talking about Dave's role as the governmental and business editor for the Muskegon Chronicle and its relationship specifically to the city of Muskegon. Dave's been in town since 1981, and he's seen a lot, done a lot, seen a lot of changes, and pretty good prognosticator, I think, of perhaps some things to come. And that's kind of where I want to go. What do you see as the key issues facing the city in the next few years?
Well, obviously finances are going to rule the day. At Muskegon City Hall and in all of the local governments and school districts in Muskegon County. It's going to be a difficult 2010. There's no doubt about that, and beyond, because this is going to be solved overnight. And what we see in the economy is going to start reverberating in our public institutions. Muskegon government overall, not just in the city of Muskegon, needs to get smaller, and that's going to be a very painful process. But at the same time, the city of Muskegon and our community needs to continue its momentum downtown in terms of downtown development. So I'm going to be very much especially wanting to watch that. We need to retool and I think refocus our development efforts in the planning of them during this downtime of the economy. It gives us time to pause, time to go back and reflect on things such as Imagine Muskegon and some of the other efforts, the Muskegon area-wide plan and those things that are out there. Eventually, we're going to have to see what happens with sappy fine paper in terms of that, what used to be a key employer in this community, a key contributor to the wastewater system in terms of the effluent that flows out there, and what is the future of that company and that property to Muskegon. I think we also have to look at downtown neighborhoods, because in a budget crisis or a tight budget time, there are certain things that have to be remain constant. I think we've made such progress in terms of rehabbing and inspections and neighborhood policing that it's going to be really tough to give those kinds of things up.
Okay. So you've obviously paid a lot of attention to the business community and the city of Muskegon in particular, because you live there as a resident, and being a sailor, you're on the lake a lot.
I know the water.
Lake. What do you envision the shoreline looking like in 25 years?
I think at that time, all of the industrial type activities,
Including
that
the paper
you know,
mill?
Oh, gone. No doubt. There's only 3 really industrial type activities still on Muskegon Lake. That's being the BC Cobb plant, that is being the sappy fine paper, and Michigan Steel, the old foundry operations at the end of Western Avenue. I would say 2 of the 3 of those are gone for sure. What happens with the BC Cobb plant, I don't know. It's going on much longer than it was designed to be, which was a 50-year lifespan. I believe it's well beyond that. It's been recrafted as a peaker plant, which means they are putting in natural gas for hot days in the summer when we need lots of electricity. The natural gas turbines will roll. So where that goes, and with wind energy and all the other coming alternative energies, we really don't know where that's at. I would suspect that will still be some form of generation in 25 years, being really the last vestige of our industrial waterfront. So what happens to all those properties in between? We will still have shipping on our shoreline, and it'll probably be down in the end of the lake towards the BC Cobb plant. Whether we will have a development beyond warehousing and shipping in the heart of our downtown at the Mart Dock is anyone's guess, and it really is only the options of the owners at the McKee family and Sand Products Company. So I think you see more of what we've got. You'll have institutional uses, you're going to have hotel, marina uses, you're going to have offices, and recreational opportunities I think that maybe we can't even imagine right now.